Hello, my name is Arianna, producer and host of Aim for the Stars, where you'll meet the stars of today and tomorrow. I'm an actress and model from the East Coast of the United States, and this show is brought to you by Jess TV and Jess FM Radio from Lethbridge, Alberta. I'm pleased to introduce my guest, Frank Thon. He is an actor, musician, voiceover artist, and talk show host. So he's got it in all realms. I'm so happy that you could join me today.
No, thank you for having me, Arianna. Thank you for having me on your show.
Of course. So I'm interested. Could you tell the audience a little more about the process of getting a role in the soap opera As the World Turns?
I would love to, because that wasn't supposed to happen the way it did. And a little advice to a lot of the actors that are starting out. I was big into, well, first, I started out in theater, and that was the most fun I've ever had, because in theater, you become a family. Everybody, even after you have rehearsals before the show, after the show, you all meet and go out to dinner or whatever. TV and movies is totally different. Sometimes your scenes are just you there all day, and you have some other actor overlooking their shoulder that has nothing to do with the real actor. But anyway, to get to what you're saying, when I switched over from theater to television and movies, it was mostly background work. Being in background, I've never ever so far I've gone there as a background actor, but never stayed a normal background actor. They always came up to me or wanted to know my name. That happened on Rescue Me. I was just sitting there, and unlike other background actors, I don't stay in the crowd. I kind of stay to the edge or in front. And I had some guy looking over me, and he kept staring at me, and kind of made me uncomfortable. And when he left, like a whole group of production came over and says, "Would you like to be Johnny Bohannon and Rescue Me?" So those type of things happen doing background. As the World Turns, you actually have to audition to be a background actor. And I was going for a firefighter, and they give you a script to read. Yes, being a background actor. And she said, go outside for 10 minutes. Outside means the foyer. So I went out there, and I'm looking at all these Emmy awards, and it just messed me up, because I started to realize where I'm at. So I didn't even read the script, and I was really nervous. But I was thinking, a background actor, I really don't care. So they called me in, and she said, don't worry about it. Just read the script. You can look at it while you're... So come to find out, I went back to sit down after that, and somebody else came out and says, we're going to consider giving you a speaking role. And I was like, what? And they were like, we need your union number. I was like, union number? I just started acting. I'm saying to myself. I was like, okay, how do I go about doing that? And you're like, oh, really? So they gave me the information, and I had to join the union, and I had a U5 role on As the World Turns. And then 2 months later, they asked me to come back for another episode. And then it went out of business. So that was the end of my soap. That was my goal, was to be a soap star. But that's how I got in there.
That's really cool, and that's actually not how like most things happen. But I guess that just shows you like connections can get you everywhere.
Yeah, absolutely. And the meaning of the story that I just probably bored everybody with: don't be afraid to do background acting. You never know who's watching.
That's true. That's very true. So you said you started in theater, and that's kind of like where your preference is. So how did you get started in acting other than the background work, and how was that like kind of transition for you? Was it weird transitioning from theater to like kind of that acting space?
The theater, I was in a church group, the Jubilate Deo Chorale, and they were doing a remembrance for 9/11. So they got two of every military branch and two firefighters and two medical. And it just so happened one of the people in that group knew that I was in the fire department in Millville. So they asked me, do you want to be on stage? You know, we're going to do a show for 9/11. I was like, yeah, sure. So we actually went to Carnegie Hall, and that's where the show was. And I'm on stage where the Beatles and everybody were. And I was like, oh my God, I'm back on stage. Because as you know, prior to that, I was in a rock band and I was on stage and I gave it all up when I got married. So here I am many years later back on stage. And the producer came over. She was like, I never saw somebody so excited to be on stage before. I was like, you have no idea. You have no idea. So that led into somebody in the audience seeing me and wanting me in their theater production. Something happened on the way to the Forum was the show. So one of the actors there said that you need to be on TV or the movies. So he gave me all the information on how to do that. That's how I got into. Did I answer your question or did I just go on a rant? I'm sorry, I had a Red Bull.
No, you're good. I'm getting the idea for like the transition.
Oh, the transition. Yes, the transition. Um, yes, it's horrible. The transition is horrible. Theater was so much fun. The transition was a camera being in your face. And that thing was, for me personally, was a rat. It was staring at me, showing everybody that I didn't know how to act. That was like, I felt like I was being spied on. You know, in the audience, I could tell if I was good or not. This camera wasn't telling me, but it was going to tell the boss. So I had a real hard time with that camera up until I think it might have been like 2 or 3 years, to where you finally get used to this camera to where you don't even pay attention to it anymore. And it actually becomes your friend. Now you're trying to show off in front of the camera. So it kind of was a huge switch, but in the beginning it was horrible.
Yeah, that I've never done theater, but I can imagine because it's like two completely different worlds. But you had that experience from like being on stage. Actually, I wanted to talk more about that. You said you played guitar and you toured. What is one of your favorite stories from a gig? I would love to know.
Uh, I got to be rated PG on this one. Doing the gigs was great. I think uh, the most fun was I was in a Florida band. We won the Battle of Bands in Fort Lauderdale. However, when they discovered us, they asked us to start playing live in colleges and high schools. And there was one time that I think I drank a little too much. Yeah, I don't drink to drink. I drink to calm down when I go on stage, especially at that age. And I did a whole song without my guitar being plugged in until the singer came in and kicked me so hard in my rear end. And I was like, what was that for? And he, yelled in my ear, you're not plugged in. So that was kind of embarrassing. And then one time after a gig, we had the drummer had his sticks. I had my guitar still around me. We went into a grocery store and the drummer destroyed every box of cereal down the aisle. And as I was playing guitar for him as he was doing it. But there were the crazy stories, but they're the nice ones.
That's funny. How did you get into playing guitar? Is that something that you've done ever since you were little, or you just
Yes.
kind of picked it up? Yeah.
I was a huge Kiss fan, and my brother was in the rock band, so I never was interested until I saw the rock group Kiss. They were more elaborate instead of just standing there playing a guitar. So that's what I wanted to do, and he taught me different chords. He taught me the easy way to play. So I learned probably by 15. I learned every Kiss album by ear. I don't read music, I play by ear. I can hear a song and play it within 10, 15 minutes, which is good. However, my brother would get mad at me because that's all I would play is Kiss. He was like, "You got to learn other songs, other groups, or you're never going to be in a band." And I was like, "Yeah, be quiet." Well, he was right because when I joined the band Odyssey, well, I had to audition for it. They were like, "What else do you know?" And I was like, "I don't know." So they let me go, and then like a month later, they called me back, and they were like, "Did you learn any other songs?" I was like, "Yes." Then I had to tell my brother, "You were right. You were right." So yeah, that's how I got into playing guitar. And then by ear, I learned how to play "Home Sweet Home" on piano from Motley Crue, and then a little bit of Cinderella on keyboards and stuff like that. So it was kind of natural. I never really had to work hard at it. So that's why.
That's cool. I kind of relate. My brother also did music. He plays guitar and he sings, and he tried to teach me how to play a guitar, but I didn't quite have the musical talent that he had. So that's definitely a skill, and it's super impressive.
Well, you are definitely an awesome actor. Do you like actress or actor?
It doesn't bother me either one. I mean,
Well,
I guess they
you are
both
an awesome
classify.
actor. You're an awesome actor, and you won an award already. So,
Thank you. Yeah, I have talent, just not in musical things.
you know how many awards I got, Arianna? 0.0. So kudos to you.
Yes,
And
you're an awesome rock band.
I always used to say, no, it's not all about winning, but then I realized that's what all the losers say. So really, you're an amazing actor. I saw your films, and you're going to go very, very. You're so young. You have so far to go. You're going to be awesome.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And just for everybody tuning in, my name's Arianna. I'm the producer and host for Aim for the Stars, and we're on Jess TV. And my guest is Frank. He's an actor, voiceover artist, musician, and talk show host. So that being said, I know you've already talked a lot about your experiences with guitar and kind of your start into acting, but I'm curious about what is your most memorable or your favorite moment, either working on a set for film or in theater.
I have two. One was going back to rescue me, since I was a firefighter. Meeting Dennis Leary was a huge. I never thought I'd be acting with them, and they actually came to my service because I died in 9/11. So that was amazing. And I think auditioning for voiceover for a cartoon, Warner Brothers actually picked up on it, and to be on the Warner Brothers property. I mean, you wouldn't know this, but back in the day, cartoons were on every Saturday morning. I'm going way back. And I watched, the Bugs Bunny, Warner Brothers stuff. And here I am many, many years later on a Warner Brothers lot, which everybody could see on Max now. It used to be HBO Max, but it's Max. And it's called Only You. And there's a bunch of cartoons. Mine is Welcome to 8th Street, and I play Jimmy. So they're the two major things. Because my daughter drove me past when I went to Hollywood for the first time, drove me through Hollywood, and I was like, oh my gosh, oh my, and I'm smart. My face hurt from smiling so much. And then I saw the Warner Brothers water tower, and like a smack of reality hit me, and I was like so depressed. I was like, I'm never going to get in there. So never say never, because that happened, a few years after that.
So how did you get into that, like, voiceover work?
Okay, this is a crazy story. I don't know how much time we have, but on LinkedIn, yes, people, LinkedIn does work. I saw this lady holding a stone, and on the stone it says "believe," and I was like, "Wow, I'm going to add her." And come to find out, she was the head casting director for NBC, and she moved out to Hollywood, and there was an audition for a Jersey accent character. So she remembers that I'm from Jersey. However, I'm from South Jersey. We don't have that forget about it type um, accent. But she asked me to try out for the part, and I did the Jerky Boys. Not to give them a shout out, but they have a guy that has an accent from North Jersey, New York area. So I did his accent, and I got the part. So it was kind of by accident and a little bit of luck.
That's crazy. All your stories of how you got into things are so unusual and cool.
Yeah, I'm unusual. But
I
yeah,
think you're cool.
yeah.
So, yeah, thank you. So you were a firefighter, and that actually helped you get a role, which is cool. Did that help you? Did you have to act like, was it different from actually being a firefighter, or
yeah,
did it help you on set?
it was actually the worst thing that could have happened because when I was on As the World Turns, they were like, okay, we need you to act like you just came out of the fire, and you got to explain to him that if there's anybody else out there, that you're going to find them. So me coming out of a house fire, I've done it many, many times. I know that I'm out of breath, I'm sweating, and somebody asks me a question, they're bothering me. Honestly, they're going to bother me. Let me do my job while I'm doing a firefighting type thing. But so when they said action, I came out and the guy asked me, is there anybody else up there? And I just took my helmet off and I put it on his chest. And I was like, trust me, if there's anybody else. And they were like, cut. We don't need you to huff and puff. Just come out there and say the line. I'm like, that's not how, okay. But directors, listen to the directors. When they tell you something, do what they tell you. Don't, you know what I mean? Because if you go work with a director, you got it made. Do not tell a director how to direct a scene. So little tip there. So anyway, I came back and I came out the next time. I still took my helmet off and put the edge to the guy's chest. I was like, don't worry, if there's anybody else up there, we'll find them. Even though they were like, cut, that's great, thank you. Even though I knew that wasn't real or how it would go, I listened to the director and that's how I did it. And believe it or not, when I saw it on TV, he was right.
Yeah, directors always have that creative vision that you sometimes can't quite see from in front of the camera.
Yeah, but being a firefighter, I knew how it was supposed to be. However, on TV, that's not how they wanted it. So it was a curse for me to have that knowledge of being a firefighter actually on a scene where they needed a firefighter.
That's funny. Okay, so I'm gonna move on from the topic of acting and all of that for a second and get into some more personalized questions. Do you have someone that you look up to in any of these realms, or someone that inspires you?
As an actor or in life in general?
Just in general.
My mom was always my best friend and still is to this day. And my brother Raj, because without either of them, I wouldn't be where I am today. My mom, like I said, I was very, how would you say, dorky and unattractive growing up. I got beat up a lot. My mom was always there for me, taking me shopping, doing things, you know, a total dork would do, be happy to go in a ShopRite or something, go grocery shopping. And my brother, even though he was older than me and his friends were older, he always, you know, made sure that I was with him and taught me a lot in life in general. So I would say my mom and my brother.
I'm glad that you had like a supportive family. That's always good.
Yeah, it is. Especially when I was telling you when I was with Jennifer Aniston in that movie set. She was what, 40 something at the time. Arianna, keep your mom with you, even on set. If she could do it, you can do it.
Yeah, she's always with me. Don't worry. So you're busy. You're very busy. You have a talk show. You do all this acting and stuff. Do you have any other hobbies that you like to do aside from this?
At my age, I used to have hobbies when I was younger. At this age, I don't mind staring at the wall. It's kind of fun. I mean, your day's coming.
My mom
Your day's
laughing in the
coming.
back.
Because, like, I asked my wife today, I was like, do you want to go out and do anything today? You know, we're both home. She's like, oh, I think I want to relax today. I was like, thank you. Neither do I. I want to sit here and just stare at the TV or my phone. So, but hobbies, I think my hobbies back in the day were dancing. I won a couple of dance awards, and not for ballet or nothing. Mine was strictly Billy Idol 80s dance. I used to go out and do that a lot back in the time when I was your age, a little older. That was fun. I did that probably twice a week. I would go out to the nightclubs. So that was fun.
You had my mom cracking up in the back there when you said that you just like to do nothing because she's the same way.
You know what? I used to do comedy too. And when I did it in New York, and they asked me to come back, and I was like, okay, that sounds great, but I never did. I just did it local. And if anybody's out there that does comedy, the one thing that you have to know, and I didn't at the time, and it was too late, I didn't read the crowd. So the show I would do at college, I should have known not to do it in a country setting where everybody's prim and proper, because that was the last show I ever did after that, because they were in the parking lot waiting for me. I was like, you know what, maybe I shouldn't do comedy.
Was it like a stand-up improv comedy, like a club that you just went, or like a stand-up bar?
No, it was a comedy club, and especially in New York. I want to say it was the Cellar or something like that. I can't remember. But you're given 20 minutes to do your show, and when they asked me to come back, I knew I had it made. However, I didn't want to park in Trenton and take the train again, and I'm definitely not driving there. So I was like, let me just do local gigs instead, which I did that for a couple of years until that one outing that I didn't read the crowd. But that was a hobby. That was definitely a hobby. Oh, and I almost got fired because I do voices. I called in to work as another worker, and I probably shouldn't say it here, but I told them I was having a flashback about being in Vietnam, and it was bad. But I usually call them back and tell them that it was me. However, my coworker that was standing next to me was on the sidewalk holding his stomach from laughing, so I forgot to call them back. And yeah, I got suspended for 2 weeks for not telling, because they sent the cops out there, and it was a big thing. I got to watch my voices as well.
You little prankster.
Yeah, I forget about it.
I guess that's why you went into comedy.
Yeah.
For a little bit, at least.
Yeah. I keep getting in trouble when I do comedy, so I'm done with comedy.
How do you balance all of this stuff, like your work, your leisure, your family?
My daughter is 40. My son is 34. They have their lives now. I just got married recently to my Candace, and she is so much like me. Oh my God. Just like I told you before, let's both stare at a wall. It's great. It's amazing. And we both have the same personality and loving, and she has the biggest heart ever. Because my mom used to tell me, my mom's from Italy, and she was like, Frangini, your weakest, not your weakest, what'd she say? Your downfall is your big heart, because people are going to take advantage of you. And I found a person that has a big heart just like me. So yeah, I'm very happy right now.
Well, congratulations on getting married.
Thank you. Did you see the videos I made of my wedding?
Very cute.
Yeah, thanks. I do that on the site too. I do videos for weddings, and I actually did my own. But I always get in trouble using people's music though.
Was that hard? You were in the wedding, and then you were also filming it?
Yeah, I just put together what everybody sent, and then there was one where I was getting ready and getting dressed, and I did that myself. I had to set up the camera in the bathroom. It was a little weird, but I put it all together, and the honeymoon I put together in Las Vegas. So I think it came out all right.
That's very cool. I want to, before, we're almost out of time, so we still have a few minutes, but I want you to explain your talk show and
Oh,
where
that
people can
nightmare!
see it.
Oh my God. I've gotten so used. No, that's horrible English. You were on my show before. It's called Trash Talk. Every time I sign on to that show, something happens because I have a professional. Look at this microphone. That's what I was supposed to use tonight. That never works. I have a special camera. That never works. So as far as that goes, if you want to go through the first part of the show, the first 5-10 minutes where there's no sound, you're gonna love my show. It's called Trash Talk, and it's on Facebook live stream every Tuesday night at 8 p.m.
Perfect. You have my mom laughing again in the back.
Your
She
mom's
thinks
awesome.
you're so funny. Maybe you need to go back into comedy or
Hey,
give her like a comedy show.
I go
Personal
past
life.
you. I go past you guys probably 4 times a week. You don't even know because I go to Miami, so I take 295 around where you are. Are we in Canada? Hey?
295 is better than 95, so
Oh, well, I don't know. Well, you guys don't feel the bumps that we feel. 295, when you go down to farther down south, the bumps are horrible. The overpasses, it's like up and then down, up and then down. They got to fix that. And your cops they're great cops, but they love giving tickets out. I've never gotten one, but I haven't.
I haven't either. Let's keep it that way.
Oh yeah, you better not. You got to put a speedometer limit on your car.
Like a limit of how fast it goes. I
Yeah.
don't think we could reach past 90, to be honest. That would be
Oh,
scary.
my car, I never had it over 120, and that was one time going through Ohio, and that sounds fast, but I was following people.
It's okay. It's Ohio. There's nothing there, so.
I know, that's why everybody was doing it.
Well,
Am I-
yeah, not like there's not. Well, there is stuff there, but a lot of the time it's just mostly like country, like
It's
back
wide.
roads. There's not a lot of cities, so you
Yes,
can.
right.
That's what I meant. Not to insult the people of Ohio. I'm sure everyone's
No,
great.
I love Ohio and Indiana. I would love to live in Indiana. Oh my, OMG. Indiana is beautiful.
Yeah, I've never been to Ohio, but I've applied for colleges there, so maybe I'll go soon.
Oh, that was different lifestyle, trust me. But then again, you live in a nice state, so
Yeah, I do. It's pretty nice. Virginia is, it's nice where I live. I like it. No complaints.
yeah. Well, you have a nice raceway over there. Have you ever been there?
To the raceway?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's one
Oh,
right by
really?
my house, like 10 minutes away.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I have too. Very nice. But Virginia is beautiful.
Yes, and it has Wawas, so.
We're from Jersey's Wawa. There it is. There's the camera. Jersey. We got the first Wawas. You know where the Wawa came from? Wawa,
No.
PA. Wawa, Pennsylvania. And they call it Wawa because from the Native Americans, when they see geese, they call them Wawas, not geese.
Hmm.
So that's why you see a goose or whatever on the logo.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
See what happens when you talk to an old man? Way back in the day when they had dirt roads.
Learn lots of new stuff. Learn something new every day. That's what they say. All right. Well, I think we're almost out of time. Is there anything else you want your viewers to know? You can plug your social medias where everybody can find you.
I'm on Facebook. They can look me up on Facebook. I'm on Instagram. I think on Instagram it's Frank Thon Actor though, but on Facebook it's just Frank Thon, plain old Frank. Nothing special.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining me today, and thank you to the viewers for watching Aim from the Stars. Be sure to catch my other episodes on Jess TV and on Roku. Bye, everyone.
Thank you, Arianna. Bye.
Of course.
Bye, Mom.
Okay, yay, thank you.
Drop that booty down low. When you drop that booty down low.
You know what it is. It's your man Jay Woo.
And your girl Chachi La Muñeca from Who Got Next Radio every Tuesday night.
10 p.m. Eastern right here on Jess TV via Roku nationwide live.
From Florida.